What does that mean? People are bullish. If people are bullish and they're buying, that means price is going up. If people are buying, price is going up. Now, if people are bearish, that means they're selling. And price is going down. If people are selling, price is going down. Now, as a professional day trader, the key to success is momentum. We need other traders to be thinking in the same direction we are. We need to identify where those traders are likely to buy, which means we are going to identify the likely direction of the market. So that's why trend, whether it's up, whether it's down, is so important. Okay, let's take a look at the third direction, and that's a sideways market. Now you can see there are actually all three directions right here on your chart. We've got the uptrend here, we've got the downtrend here, and in the middle, or right in between the up and the downtrend, is the sideways. And I'll cover this in future sections, but remember, a sideways market, or when the market is trading sideways, that is a good indication that the trend it's in transition, or it's changing. And you can see here that price was going up, started going sideways, and then started coming down. Now it doesn't always mean, so this is never 100%, but we don't need it to be. Okay, this course is not about 100%. Remember in the introduction I talked about how the biggest mistake rookies traders make is trying to go for the Holy Grail. Well, the Holy Grail is this 100% system, and I'm here to tell you it doesn't exist, and we don't need it to be. We don't need to be 100% in the marketplace. All we need to know is what is the likely direction of the future trend. If you can identify the code, remember the market is giving you code. If you can identify the code, you will be able to identify the likely direction of the market. So, when you see the market moving up, remember the lows are getting higher and the highs are getting higher. Well, when the market starts to move into a sideways action, you'll see that up to this point, isn't the market still making higher highs and higher lows? But then look what happens here. The market makes a higher high and a higher low, but then what happens right here? Look at that. Now this is called a double top, and we'll get into it later. But what happens right at this point is the market's code is telling us to watch out. The uptrend may be over. Now remember, we don't need to know exactly when it's over. We don't want to be and here's something, an adage or a saying that I think is one to live by. You can tell the pioneers because they all have the arrows in their backs. We're not looking to be the first ones in the move here. What we're looking for is trend, and then we're looking for confirmation. Why are we looking for confirmation? Well, when we look for confirmation, that means we're not the first guy in the pool. We're not the trader who's the first one out there trying to start the trend or end the trend. We are simply going to sit back and wait for the market to tell us that it's moving. So at this very point, you can see the market is not making a higher high. Now what happens? As it moves down, look at this. It makes a low, a high, and a low. Well, isn't this what we said was a downtrend? Well, absolutely it is. But then look at this. It makes a high, and then a low. Now, hopefully by now, you're a little bit confused. Now, okay, why am I saying that? I'm saying that because if you're ever looking at price and it's confusing and the highs are all over the place and the lows are all over the place, then you guessed it, you're looking at a sideways market. Now, sideways markets are the best time to just take the day off or to take some time off. If you can't tell where market trend is going, then it's better off to just not trade. Now, it's very rare that this will happen for a long period of time. So don't worry. You're not going to have days and weeks and months where you're simply not able to trade. But we have a tool now that will help us to identify, hey, the market's just not ready to trade yet. Let's wait for a signal, which leads me to a very important point. Here is what we're trying to look for. This is our objective. Find the obvious pattern. As we start to get into market pattern here, we want to make sure that we are finding the obvious patterns. We want to find the obvious uptrends. We want to find the obvious downtrends. The last thing that we want to do is to try and find a pattern that nobody else sees. And I'm going to say this throughout the whole course. We want to why do we want to find the obvious pattern? Because we want other traders to push price in our direction. Remember, once you have placed a trade, and I don't care if you're George Soros, Warren Buffett, or Bill Gates, if Bill Gates put all of his money into the Forex market, I mean literally every last penny, does he have any money left over? Well, no, he put every penny in. Let's say he sold all of his stock. He sold all, he mortgaged his house. He put a second and a third mortgage on it. He sold his cars, his wife's jewelry, everything. If every penny he had was in the Forex market, does he have any money left? Well, no, he doesn't. It's all in the market. So can he push price? Can he buy any more? No. He can only close his position out. The same thing applies to everyone. That's why we need to have other traders to push price. So if we're looking to sell the market as it's moving down in a downtrend, what do we need? We need other traders to sell here and here and here. We need them to sell to help move price in our direction. Just like if we're going to buy here, we need other traders to buy here and here and in here. We don't want to be the first person in the pool. We want to identify trend, up or down, and we want to make sure it's an obvious trend. Okay, so you want to make sure that you can find the trend. Simply put, use your eyes. Just use your eyes. Find the higher lows. That's an uptrend. Higher highs. That's an uptrend. You want to find the lower highs and lower lows. That's a downtrend. And if you're confused, the market's doing both, higher lows, higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, then you know the market is moving sideways. Very simple, very quick way to identify what price is doing. Now, rest assured that we are going to go through techniques to help you identify these areas. We're going to go, in fact, there are several hours of information about this. So remember, just get the basic idea down. You should be able to identify trends. So let's go through and take a look at a couple of examples. And what I'm going to do is just sort of zoom through price here. In fact, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And we're going to really take off through price. I'm going to look, I'm going really fast here, back and forth. Okay, now, let me zoom back out. All right, now when you're looking at this chart, Where do you see the trends? Well, just at looking at it, doesn't this look like an uptrend right here? Sure. How about this small area? Yeah, absolutely. There's a trend, downtrend. Doesn't this look like a sideways area to you? Price is just moving in both directions, but then here's an uptrend. Here's another sideways. And then what happens? Look at this. Price goes into a downtrend, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and zoom through here. Here's another one. This one is a little bit easier, isn't it? You can see there's a downtrend, there's an uptrend, down, then there's down, 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 right? Okay, remember, just use your eyes. Now, if we zoom in here, now is when we could start looking at what is price doing. You can see here, price is, this is all jumbled up. Okay, and then you should instantly say sideways. Okay, then price starts to move into an uptrend. Higher highs and higher lows, see that? But then price, for a little while, moves sideways, but then what happens? Downtrend. Higher or lower lows, lower highs, doesn't it? Right there. Now here's what you have to remember. If price is confused, traders are confused. If traders are confused, there's no momentum. So in an area like this, where price looks like it's moving down, but then starts moving up, that's just a sideways market. And the market needs to find its direction. So what happens? The market starts moving down. Look here. Now, look at that. Here's a downtrend. So we want to avoid these areas here where traders are confused, and then capitalize on areas here where traders have picked a direction. Remember, we don't have enough money or clout to move the market. Let's let the market tell us where it's going to go, and then we'll jump on the train and get our money and get out of the way. That's what we're going to talk about here. That's why it's important that you learn how to trade and how to think like a trader. Now, trend is a very simple concept. These are the basic tools to help you find a trend. Now, I'm going to talk about what I call logical points of support and resistance. These are areas on the chart that we can focus on to help us to gauge the likely direction of the market. So once we've identified the trend, we need to identify things called logical points of support and resistance inside of it. That's in the next section.